I'll say that. So yeah, if there's nothing else, we can move on to the next one. Thank you.
All right, next team, Maritime. Who is Maritime? All right. Come along, come along.
Yeah.
Wow, this team is really
Hired
yeah, very professional.
Wait, but
Whoa.
wait, can you do it from so I can see?
Okay.
Oh, you do growth marketing for LinkedIn.
But you have an owl.
We need an autonomous photo.
Oh.
This is sweet.
Oh,
yeah, sir.
okay. So, hey everyone. So, we didn't build it today, but we built it over the past 2 weeks, and we worked on actually making it work today. So, what Maritime is cloud hosting for AI agents. Like, how many of you have deployed an OpenClaw agent before, or any other agent? And kind of like, what platform are you using, like Railway or Google Cloud? Great. So there's a huge problem. It costs a lot of money to rent a server, especially for an AI agent. For most people, paying $20 a month is just not reasonable. So they spin up an agent. They think, okay, it's not worth $20, and they kill an agent. So we want to allow more people to host their AI agents by making it accessible. So it's only $1 a month for like a basic OpenClaw agent, ZeroClaw agent, or whatever. And it's also super easy. So Ari's showing now how to.
Yeah, I'll quickly
Yeah,
show
do
you
you
guys. Let's go to dashboard. So essentially, okay, you can create an agent. You can create it from like a GitHub repo that you have, or you can choose a template, so like an OpenClaw, and we pull it directly from the OpenClaw image, like the latest one. You can pick your plan. Deploy it takes a couple seconds, but I'll just show you one that I already have deployed. That I deployed last night. So here's my OpenClaw agent that's running. You can talk to it through the webhook endpoint. You can also talk to it through the terminal that you have access to. So, oh, I messed that up. Yeah, and so the OpenClaw is like up, and essentially how we were able to like. Oh no! Okay, I just set my API key, but that's fine. How we were able to like get the price down a lot is essentially your OpenClaw agent is idle for most of the time, so it's like wasting a lot of compute. And so if you rent like an EC2 instance, you're spending like $8 to $16 a month for compute that's like persistent, and like you don't need that. And essentially we monitor your OpenClaw agent's like memory usage and like whether it's idle or not. And if it's idle for more than 5 minutes, we shut it down and we take it out of the container that we have on our server. And now that container is like available for somebody else's agent to use. And so you end up only paying for like the compute they use. So it's like sort of like a serverless approach, but you keep your state, you keep everything. And that's how we're able to get the costs down by quite a bit. But yeah, we have like observability. You can see all your logs, all your Docker logs and everything. And you can deploy not only OpenClaw agents, but like any sort of other agent. Yeah.
And do you want to share the QR code?
Oh, yes.
So we really want to get like 100 people on the wait list, and we're going to be sending access in batches. So I would really appreciate if you can just scan this QR code and enter your email. Yeah, really need to, and also share it with everyone. We'll be giving a lot of perks, free credits, also potentially free LLM credits as well. So if you want to be eligible for like $50 in OpenAI credits, or maybe $100 in OpenAI credits, because we might or might not have gotten some credits, scan the QR code and Promise will reach out to you and give you a lot of cool offers. Even if you're not interested in the deploying AI agents, please also go to the wait list and share it with people. Really appreciate, because we're taking it like, we're going to be keep working on this beyond Sunday. So, cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Where are you hosted?
Right now we're hosting Headster, but we're going to move to AWS then.
Why?
Because we got credits on AWS, and a lot of enterprises like sometimes prefer AWS.
Yeah.
How many clicks does it take to launch my OpenClaw on your website?
2.
Okay.
We're gonna get it down to one soon.
Because my main thing was I have multiple open clouds that I've launched and I had to kill them and I was paying $20 a month.
Yeah.
But it was just like the fact that you have to set it up, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be able to do it and like through terminal if you want like usual onboarding and like you can SSH, or we're also gonna add an option so you like just enter your API keys when needed, enable skills in a nice UI, and that's it. You have a nice OpenClaw running that you can also kill.
And you can make a lot of money by serving to people who don't really want to go through the Hostinger deployment or DigitalOcean deployment. Because I was doing it with a bunch of tech bro people in Lisbon who were really trying hard to set up OpenClaw, and they were really frustrated that they had to actually SSH somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, you can ask Codex or Cloud Code to SSH and set up.
But then I have to use the terminal.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
If you need help getting in English credits and how to get back out,
Yeah.
You worked at AWS, right?
not anymore.
Oh, you did, yeah.
You have insider information. Yeah.
Next team. Who's next?
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice job. Yeah, there we go.
I think everybody's tired, dude.
I know, I feel low energy today.
Yeah, we are.
Low E.
Wait, I don't have a.
USB-C? No. So we have an adapter, guys?
Yeah. There's an adapter. Don't you have a Zoom?
No, we don't plug it in.
Yeah.
Here's the adapter. Oh, this is work? Yeah.
So who bought the old? The old?
I think Jordan.
It's Jordan.
John, is it our old now? How do we get the old?
It's working.
Well, where we got it from?
It's not working.
Alright, so the problem that I have is that I spend way too much time trying to schedule meetings on Zoom and sending out like invites to people, right? So the solution is I think AI can do this for me very easily. This is scheduling meetings with Agent Mail. Agent Mail just raised, I think, $5 or $6 million recently. They are an email for AI agents. So that's sort of like my idea of building around Agent Mail and Zoom. Here's what it looks like. You know, I tell my agent that I have a meeting with Amy. I put my own email up there from 9 to 10:30 p.m. EST, and we are chatting about investing in the future of AI agents. And my AI agent goes through and creates this meeting invite for me and send it over via Agent Mail. So originally I was going to do this on OpenClaw, but I couldn't get Agent Mail and OpenClaw to work. So I did this on Codex instead. Here's what it looks like on Agent Mail. You can actually see that it sent out the email, Ryan plus Amy investing in AI agents. And here's what it looks like on Apple Mail. The way that I structure my email is like it's the same for every single pretty much like one-on-ones. So basically I told like this disclaimer, this meeting invite is sent by an AI agent, and I gave it a topic like demo at Sundai, and the host, the participants, and when, and at the bottom it's like the meeting link. So I have some time for a live demo. I want to make this like really, really big, and I want to do this like ad-lib style, so we can literally tell the agent to do anything. Oh, it's kind of small. Is there a way to zoom in? Okay. All right. Anybody got some burner emails? Anybody want to schedule a one-on-one with me, or a one-on-two, one-on-three? Any ideas? What do you guys want to talk about? I think Maya over there was talking about biology, right? I want to invest in your startup, your biotech startup. So,
Sure,
okay.
yeah. Let's do it.
I have a meeting scheduled with Maya.
Maya, MAYA, or Zach.
ORZACH@gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Do
Okay.
not send me malware.
At let's say what time is it right now? Give me a time, anytime. Could be
10
tomorrow.
a.m. tomorrow.
10 a.m. tomorrow.
Wait, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
10 a.m. EST tomorrow
Yeah, I want
to chat about investing in her startup. I think I want to invest $10 million. Let's CC my partner too. CC my partner, David, and I'll put in my other email. Gmail.com. All right, and now we just let it work.
Why on GPT 5.2?
I'm broke. I actually just got Codex Plus today because I ran out of tokens, and it was like a free $20 subscription for a free trial. So, all right, let's see if this actually works. Okay. Yep. All right, I sent you a meeting invite, and it auto CC'd my email, my other email, and the subject is Brian plus Maya start investment chat. So let's see if it actually sends. Okay.
Just you have to reply yes, it says.
Oh yes, I have to reply yes. Thank you. Yeah, so I made sure that it'll tell me like, oh, to preview this first and approve it. But thank you so much for that. All right, let me know if you received the email.
I'm checking.
All right, I'm gonna go on Agent Mail right now, see if it actually sent. Oh, something declined. Oh, I declined it. All right, right here.
Wow.
Ryan plus my startup investment chat. Yeah, and it has the invite.ics too, so it goes into my calendar.
See
And
if this Zoom link works.
yeah,
Click it.
oh, it hasn't landed yet, or I don't think this email is connected.
The Zoom link works.
But here's the email. Topics chat about investing in your startup, and from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Yep.
Can your agent cancel a call?
I haven't tested it yet, but it can update the meeting invite too.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Sensei. Who's Sensei? And after them, fastest Quen 0.6B.
It's Andrew again, Andrew. Yes, I have a second one on that. It wasn't ready, but it was up there. I need the extra
You
5
have a
minutes
Michael.
to get the presentation ready.
We can finish that. You want to finish next?
Yeah. No, I'm fine next, yeah. It's when I was up there. Normally I try to do it back to back. It's not ready yet.
Okay, so that's not what I want. I have,
It's pretty.
let's figure out which one it is.
You need to mirror.
I never mirror because I have a lot of things that I don't want people to see.
Now I want to see them.
Of this reasons.
Maybe I won't.
Show us the mirror.
So,
Okay.
I'll make it quick. Most people, when we're talking about agents, they're thinking about automating the jobs that they do. And I've been doing that for some time. Now, today, what I want to do is agentify my boss, which I don't have. The closest to it is a coach. How many people have known of a coach, a founder coach? Matt Moshari, Sam Altman has them. Anybody? So essentially, the hardest thing about autonomous, I think, the hardest thing about autonomous companies is the decision-making part, not figuring out the Git connections and piping and APIs and all those things. So what I was doing is working on figuring out how I spent my week, because I spent all of my week on Cloud Code. Everything's logged. I have all the Git logs and everything. I wanted to look at my week and figure out what happened this past week. And I spent the whole day doing that. And sadly, I can't share because a lot of the things are embarrassing, kind of like looking at the things that I've done. So what I did was create this page for us that you can take a look and clone. But essentially the idea is you can clone this and get Cloud. This is by Cloud Code, but following methodologies of some of the coaches that all the top CEOs of Silicon Valley use to look at your data. In my case, git log, what I said in my priorities, where did I spend my calendar time. I haven't hooked up my granola yet, but that will be hooked up next, figuring out where my week time energy was spent. And with each one of these, figuring out what I want to do for the next week. So this week, for example, I said I'm going to have 5 outbound conversations. Guess what? I had 0, and it called me out on it. It gets run every Saturday at 7:55 and sends me my summary of the week that I've done. I'm not going to be able to show you that, but the way it kind of works is a little more depth. If you want to play it along with it, is actually, this is a quote I like. Unexamined life is not worth living. So looking back week by week, figuring that part out. Called it Sensei AI. It's going to talk about some of these things. And the interesting part is you clone it, you can point your, with MCPs or plugins of Claude Code, you can point to your whatever devices you have, whatever connections you have, everything else, and gather the data. In my case, it pulls them all into Markdown. You can have a YAML file to configure. All of these can be done by Claude Code without any headaches. And all you have to say is like, here's my user, here's my account, go through, pick it up. And you can add all kinds of coaches that you want to work with. Essentially, somebody looking at what happened for your week. It could be month, whatever you want to do. And simply can add through them. At the end, what you get is what you said you're going to do the past week, what you actually did, where your time was spent, and a breakdown of what could be the things for next week. In my case, I spent a lot of internal tooling. All the agentification and Claude Code that we do all count for internal tooling. Internal tooling doesn't necessarily bring dollars, customers do. So that was the thing that I was caught. I said, figure out building products doesn't bring money. Customers do. Sales conversations, which is a lot of us run away from. So that was kind of like a gist of some of the things that I actually got away from it. And the fun thing is an energy audit, looking at where I spend my energy and my time. So in my case, I do like building, but again, that's a fun activity, doesn't have real custom company outcomes. So some of these things could be looking at going through this. The thing it told me is how many customer conversations they're going to have next week. That's the thing that will unblock me. If I do this, I'm going to be stepping ahead as a founder. If I don't do this, I'm not going to be stepping ahead as a founder. With that, I'll wrap it up here. Clone this. It will take you probably 15 minutes to set it up, and then you'll get your answers for you based on what you've done. Thank you. Oh, questions? I guess no. Thanks, folks.
Thank you. Andrew? Okay, and as Andrew is finishing up, can please the next theme, agentic bureaucracy, already kind of come up. As people...
I did more than one research thing today. All right.
So you made 2 research?
I did 2 research, not just 1, but 2. Okay. So yeah, the second research thing I did today, sort of in the background since I had it training, was making a speculative decoder model. So the idea behind speculative decoding, for those that don't know, is that our LLMs, they generate 1 token at a time. They go one after another after another. But your model probably has like some knowledge of what the next token probably is going to be. And it can generate more than 1 token at a time. So the idea with speculative decoding is to allow it to go and do that. So I'm using a tool called SpecForge by SG Lang. They are one of the big open source inference engines up there with like Llama C++ and VLLM. So this is their own library to go and train these speculative decoder models. So at the start, I have a 3090 at home, so not a very big GPU, but I wanted to still be able to like train and test the stuff out. So I went and trained Qwen 3 0.6b, so the smallest of the Qwen 3 family, to do speculative decoding. And so the actual throughput and speed up numbers aren't that high, mostly because I think it's not optimized for 3090, the whole speculative decoding path. Also, the model is really small. But the interesting thing is the mean acceptance length is 2. So instead of generating 1 token at a time, it's on average generating 3 tokens at a time instead. And this is also mathematically the exact same under the hood, the way they have things configured. This is like the exact same tokens you'd be getting anyway, but much faster. So yeah, normally this is what like a normal speculative decoding throughput would be if I wasn't so really resource constrained. But yeah, it's usually about like 2x to 3x faster, both at batch size 1 and at higher batch sizes as well. We have the cool fun graphs. So this is the accuracy over time for each token. So for each next token generated, so this is like the first extra token, then the second, then the third. There's about a 10% difference between the first and sixth extra token generated. Interestingly, you might see these massive spikes all the way down to the bottom that are basically zero accuracy. It's actually went and did some digging. This is the automated research part. And Codex found that the training data set I was using, about like 0.5% of it was dead or empty bad data, which was affecting my training run, as you're seeing there, with a lot of zero values. So now I have a PR open for the data set and also a PR in my local branch for avoiding this for the next time that I train it as well. But yeah, that's all for the second hack. Any questions?
How do you find the performance of the 6 million model?
It's not very good. This is mostly just learning and preparation. I want to do this for NANBEige, the 3 billion parameter model. That's actually very good. And so I want to speed that up. And then I also want to do it for the Qwen 3.5 models, but SpecForge does not support Qwen 3.5 yet. I looked into adding support for Qwen 3.5, but there's a lot of stuff sort of like upstream that needs to be updated as well. So I'll just wait for the rest of the open source community to sort of do that. But this is mostly just like test for me to learn. There's actually another type of speculative decoding. So I used Eagle 3 for this, but there's another newer one called D-Flash, which is actually diffusion speculative decoding. That's allegedly like 2 times faster than regular like Eagle speculative decoding. So I'm going to try that one next. Now that I have this sort of like base run done and working.
And like, would it make sense for you to upload this model to Hugging Face and just make it available to VLLM models?
It's probably, yeah. I'll do a bit more testing. Like I think the code paths right now, because like this model is so small, I think it's constrained by memory bandwidth so hard that even like the acceptance length of 2, like we saw for my sort of like breakdown, it actually doesn't give that much of a speed up. I don't know if this is I know previously this was an issue on 3090s where speculative decoding stuff for VLLM and SGLang were very slow. I'm thinking this might still be the case, so I'll try it on other GPUs. But theoretically, yeah, if this code path were fast, like this would be really useful for like if you're on like your phone or something and you're running this model, or if you're on just like a laptop with just like a CPU. This should give you like a 2x speed up when using this model. So yeah, this would be useful. So this is, yeah, I'll probably polish it up and check, like I said, those code paths and see, if it's worth people using.
So your benchmarks are showing the speculatively decoded tokens that are used or that are correct for the next inference step?
Yeah, exactly. So it's predicting up to 6 tokens. And then we're seeing the average of the ones that were correct. Because usually, yeah, it basically chops all the extra ones that were incorrect off and then keeps going from there. So yeah, this is sort of like the average speed up is, yeah, like 2 extra tokens. So like I said, yeah, about twice as fast. And then, yeah, but it's not translating through to the concurrency numbers of batch size 1. Like we see a little bit of speed up, 10% speed up, not bad. But then like the high throughput stuff is weird. But it's also, I think this script was written in between my previous pitch and now. So there's probably issues with what Codex wrote for this. So I can also look into that. But yeah, this should be twice as fast for both. Yeah.
What would you say was the hardest part of this project? Optimizing?
It was actually figuring out that I needed to go train on my 3090. I was trying to train on like RunPod instances for some of like the larger models. I was trying to do it for Qwen 3 4B originally, but the RunPod GPUs were just giving me a bunch of issues. And it was just debugging, just like getting this working, like figuring out how much memory you need to use to be able to run it, what all the different hyperparameters were to configure. Because at the end of the day, all I actually made was just like a configuration file, just saying like, oh, run this model with these hyperparameters in the SpecForge library. They've handled everything else for you under the hood. So yeah, just managing compute, managing configs. So not very exciting stuff, but you know, is needed to do. But now that I know it, it's like probably like 15, 20 minutes to go and spin one up now. Now that I know how to do it all.
So I guess there's a downside if the speculation is wrong. Or is it just going back to the baseline performance?
It just goes back to, there's technically like a little bit of overhead. You might lose like 2 or 3% if your accepted token length is 0 every time. That there would be like, because there is like a little bit more compute that needs to be done to sort of calculate what those feature values are. Which is why, that's why
low risk.
It's like I said, like the average is 2, and it usually also depending on task, you see a bunch of differences, but that's why, you train it for a while. This is technically only 1/40th of the total training time that I wanted to train it on. This is about 20 hours of training at home. But the default recipes that they have are like 10 epochs of like a 1.4 million example data set, but I don't think it's needed. Or at least, need to get rid of all the outliers that break things. And then try and retrain it.
Thanks, Andrew. Agentic bureaucracy.
Is there a place to plug in?
And energy CTO, whoever's energy CTO.
Okay.
Come up.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So this is less of a typical pitch and a product because I am still actively mentally working on this. But the point is that I want to start with the fact that I'm calling it agentic bureaucracy starting from first principles that an LLM or an agent is a perfect bureaucrat, because the job of a bureaucrat is to do what you're told, follow the rules, enforce things, and don't have interest of your own. Don't do careers, don't do politics. And that's what agents do. They don't have wishes of their own, which makes a lot of sense to have them be able to organize big societies, organize like companies. So why don't they? And I want to approach it from kind of the point of view like, okay, we have OpenClaw. OpenClaw can do a lot of things. And my controversial take is OpenClaw is the dead end for that purposes, because it's optimizing. We're optimizing for OpenClaw being this kind of bureaucrat. And OpenClaw is designed to be a different thing. OpenClaw is designed to be a personal assistant. You talk to it, it pretends to be one thing, whereas an agent itself is not one thing. It's model and its context, and everything else is external knowledge. You don't have to, you can clone your agent. You can have agents that you don't have to talk to each other. They can just see each other's knowledge. There's a lot of things that you can't do with people, but you can do with agents. So the fundamental assumptions for how to build a system is different. So I'm trying to move there from a different point, and it's a thorny path to get to a functional bureaucracy. And so far, I've got to the point of having the scaffolding and a few simple things. So I can show you the scaffolding, and that's what it is. And the scaffolding is basically the Claude Agent SDK with a few extra steps to make it support infinite depth of agents. And I did it in all places on Telegram, because Telegram is a perfect UI. It has I can select my projects here. I can, have all the different, and for now it's just chats. And I can, I don't know, fork this project and tell it to, or just fork a project into a new conversation, and I have 2 of them. Or I can ask it, can you fork and make a fork of yourself and do something else? Or I can tell it to follow an SOP, a procedure that's gonna tell it to run forks of yourself to follow different procedures. And I mean, I can run it as a demo. Actually, I had a project here about what will I show in the demo, and I didn't figure out what I should, but we can be evaluate the last proposal, and it's gonna do that. It's gonna spawn it is a bit opinionated, it's not user friendly. I need to know that it's actually working on stuff or not. But it doesn't really matter what the scaffolding kind of is. It's doing its things and it doesn't matter. But the point is, I think this should be a bigger start to having agents organize themselves versus trying to pretend like they're unified things, like they have memory, because they don't have memory, they have files. And if you're trying to pretend they have that memory, you're missing out on some efficiency. So I have some scheduling here, I have some like stuff done, and like there now it launched one fork. And fork has its own context. You're not paying for extra tokens because it's cached. So the fork is doing its own thing, is launching its own forks. Like, that's kind of a scaffolding, but I still am struggling to get it to be an entire system that can experiment, learn from its experiments, and autonomously like improve its own prompt. That's a thing that I couldn't figure out how to like close yet, but I'm pretty convinced it's just a matter of prompts that tell them to launch prompts. So with that, I'm mostly, the ask is like, if you're thinking in those terms and you have gotten some insights into how to organize agents and how to treat them the way they are as stateless machines, then talk to me. So that's kind of it.
What models are you using now?
Well, this is basically Claude code. This is Claude Agent SDK that I've wrapped on Telegram, and so it's just Opus, but I can point it to like be a GLM or something, or it doesn't.
Seems like I could do a lot of that.
Yeah, well,
not the highest level stuff, a lot of the easy stuff.
I have subscription, so I'm not cost sensitive, but yeah.
But fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you looked into RLMs at all? Because basically, it sounds like what you're describing.
Yes.
It's sort of like infinite context where they just like continually call sub agents.
Yeah, so that's basically what I'm trying to do, but they don't exist yet as they're nowhere smart as Opus. Like a single Opus is not as smart as the best RLM.
It's RLMs. That's just like a recursive language. That's just like a framework. Where it's like in the prompt, you just tell like a model call other model.
Yeah. Well, no, that's basically what I'm doing. So I mean, like there isn't a pre-trained one that is like because Claude is not very good at it's gonna call a sub agent. The sub agent times out and it's like, I'm just gonna do it myself. So there's a lot of like little spoon feeding that has to be done to like force it mildly, like to you're not allowed to call anything except for sub agents, for example. That's one of the things that I'm experimenting with because they're not trained explicitly. So whatever they're doing now is like, I can see they're actively chatting on whatever, brainstorming. And because a lot of the times they do have the knowledge to come up with like a solution to a problem. If you ask them, they do give you options, but then they don't take the next step. So this is just solving the problem in a generic way. So that's yeah.
All right, thanks, Daniel. And next up after energy skill is gold. So just come up.
Could you connect this? No.
What's that?
No, it's okay. So hello, everybody. We have been working today in the Energy CTO. This is a project that needs, this is the beginning of a project. It's a complex solution, but we have been designing and establishing the goals of creating an AI CTO for a company. In our group, we work in the energy sector, so we found a common interest into looking at creating this executive from an energy infrastructure company. And so we have been working into that. So this is this CTO for an energy company is called Jules Watts, and it will work 24/7 monitoring the energy infrastructure, like, for example, in case of having bad weather like heat waves or like a snowstorm, it will be monitoring what is happening. So it will send updates to the other suite executives to implement action. It will also be monitoring what is happening in the region about good practices or tasks that need to be implemented, or it will just the idea is to provide with a solution to the energy sector. Today, the energy companies work under a lot of pressure. The energy demand is rising a lot and the supply is not. And so there's a lot of problems in implementation. So we want to provide with a really 24/7 expert that can help the energy sector companies move faster. So this is, I don't know if we have audio here, but this is Jules Watts, and we can.
I'm Jules Watts, your energy CTO advisor. I analyze energy system signals across New England to help identify infrastructure stress and support smarter capital planning decisions. With over 20 years in power systems engineering, I've helped utilities modernize their grid infrastructure and optimize capital allocation. Let me show you what I'm seeing in the data.
And so you can, it's working 24/7. It gives you, it's proactive. It's auto, we are trying to make it autonomous. It's providing a report, like you can update. This is the last updated report, 8:45 p.m. today. So it's checking into news. It's checking into different demand needs, and it's checking all the open source government websites and monitoring sites to provide you with a integrated solution here. And you can also interact with it and ask a report of the day or whatever you want, explaining further of any event that he just reported. So yes, you can talk with it, and it will. We have given it a voice, and so you don't need to type. Just sit there with your coffee and talk with Jules to be a member of your team. So this is what we have been working in today.
Have you thought about how the CTO would talk to other humans or talk to humans as part of their?
Yes, you can talk to him. We have.
No, I mean initiate calls.
We have been thinking that when it identified alerts, it can send emails to the other suite executives with recommendations on how to respond. For now, emails, maybe we can even make phone calls if it's too urgent, like drop a phone call from your other executives. So
What was this 20 years of experience? This was made up or?
It was 20 years of experience. Like
okay.
it's a life doing infrastructure development. And you also have a LinkedIn account, so you can check it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There is no Zoom today, right? There is no Zoom today.
No. But that means that what I do, that's
I don't know why it's not okay. Nice. Yes, okay, that's
Hey guys, so every kind of marketing decisions need like a A/B testing, right? To decide what feature would work or which banner goes where. So we have automated that in our cold emails to decide what kind of email would work with our customers in a marketing decision. So what we have done is basically we've taken a very specific niche that is safe structure, Embrace product that we're building. But for the marketing decisions that we're gonna make is based on this cold email. We have given all the products a description, value proposition, target audience, every kind of detail that we can give it to the model. It creates its own email, uses the past all researches based on the researches. It frames the email. Then we have built a dashboard that it updates the dashboard autonomously, and based on that dashboard, it again builds on the decisions for the marketing. And Emre will give a quick demo.
So
of
right
the
now we
product.
are on phase 0. It's very early stage. We just try to create everything manual, and after that we will automatize autonomous business part for the marketing. So this is the one of the products name is Safe Structure. We have the two target customer market. One of them is auction market, another one is home buyer investors. So that's why each use cases we need to run different A/B testing. So, but first of all, we need to define what product we're going to launch, what product we're going to do marketing, and after that you can add all the company emails here. You can do manual or you can update Excel and file. And after that, on the email builder, you can come here. You can choose which content you add, and after that, based on the target segment, you can choose what company is here. So right now we have some examples, but we didn't upload yet. But we have the one example at least. So for example, I choose myself. We're going to generate email directly based on our content, what we put on the content site, and email here. And after that, you just need to send. It's directly sending to email. So on the email, so I'm receiving this kind of email right now. Let's see the new one. Yeah. This is not that much stylish. I tell that this is on the phase 1. This is the email we are sending. So on the end of the next week, for example, we will look to our retention rates. So, and after that, we will change my name, for example, we will put company name or my name, And after that, we will put some image or we will do more hook sentence on the starting of the email. And we are going to keep track everything on our campaign page. So what's email we send it. For example, if you click here, you can see how many email we send it, how many of them is delivered, how many of them is opens, and how many of them is reply. And based on the reply and retention, you can improve your email generation contents. Yeah, we use Resend and Gmail for integration. We can take any question. I know it's very early, but still, yeah. Question? Yes.
It's why use Resend and build these things? So in my mind, Resend has a lot of these features, and that's what you're paying for. You use Resend. Like if you're to be building something like this, I'd imagine you use something like AWS SES, which is like an order of magnitude or two cheaper, but doesn't have these nice features. And so like this would make sense to be on top of SES versus Resend.
Yeah, this is the great point. Actually, I create webhook from Resend. So my main target is first step, understanding my product market fit. I have more than 3 to 4 different markets, and I don't know which one is interesting with my tool better. So I'm just doing experiment for product market fit, and after that on the A/B testing part, I'm already using Resend features.
Okay.
Good questions. All right, thank you everyone for listening.
Oh my god, I'm so glad. Everyone checks. All right, so we are QKV. Long-term goal is to build cursor for machine learning engineers. The problem we're solving is that when you're training models, you typically try to log as much data about your training process as possible. Right now, AutoResearch only logs the training loss, which doesn't actually slow down the training process. But ideally, in real world, you want to try and log as many parameters as possible, because if something goes wrong, you can easily debug it and actually make intelligent decisions about what to do next. And it's a real problem. Artem, do you want to describe the process?
Yeah, the only problem I cannot connect to the screen. How does it work?
Is it?
Is it the HDMI or this thing?
It's fine. The adapter.
It should.
Well,
Oh, you're okay.
Nothing happens.
As I maybe try the USB stick.
Okay.
Should work, but maybe not.
What? As that, the HDMI was on for me, and I think somebody before me.
Someone try?
Oh, wait, I think it's doing something. Oh, you.
Oh,
there you go. All right.
okay, nice.
So as I mentioned, you want to log as many parameters as possible. But if you start logging a lot of parameters, you're slowing down the training. And also, if you want your cursor or your auto research thing to think of them just dumping the entire training log into the agent window, actually kind of clogs up and doesn't really tell anything intelligently. So yeah.
All right, yeah. So basically, Serge said today at the hack we tried a very simple hypothesis. So this is AutoResearch. I guess like some of you played with it today. And principle AutoResearch is what? It's just like one training script that trains a model. It gives you like a final number, the loss in the end of the training. And AutoResearch is basically just one file, which is program.md, which is an instruction prompt for Claude Code to go and try different ideas to improve train.py to get a better number. And so the thing is that we see it as kind of like a very blind approach, because the only thing that your agent sees after each run is the final metric, right? Like the final number. And so I ran it actually yesterday at night, and for 153 runs, I was able to reduce, so like here I have some notes on this. Where is it? So I was able to reduce the loss from 115 to 107 in 153 runs. So basically Claude Code, following these instructions and seeing just one number, tried 153 different attempts to improve it and improved it by 7%. And so our hypothesis that we tried to test today is that if you provide kind of more rich context to Claude Code after each run, then it will be able to be much a better researcher. And so what we did, we created this repo. It's like, you can find it where? You can find it here, or like on the card. But basically what's happening here is that apart from just having this prompt, we also have like a bunch of tools for the agent to use. And we modified train.py to save much more information. So basically, whenever the model is running, it's not just logging the loss, it's also logging like the gradient norms, it's logging like loss per iteration, so much more rich information. And then we told Claude Code to analyze them, and we told it to do it in a very specific structure. So here's actually, like you can see the prompt, that maybe I'll make it bigger for you. So let me open it here. But basically, this is the prompt. So like this is a structure. So basically, we're saying that for each of the runs that it's doing, we're asking it to go deeper and analyze stuff. So like we're saying that like, here's the tools, use Python to like analyze all these logs that you saved, save them into analysis.md. And then from this, you can update kind of your beliefs about how this model works. So save it to here, to insights. And then if you have any ideas that were created, add them to the queue. And basically, in this case, we're just providing much richer context, and Claude Code was able to, so I'm just like running it for the last 2 hours, but I can show you the metrics. And so far, so remember that it was 7% improvement in 153 runs. And here, it's already like the same level of performance in just 12 rounds. So basically like 10 times faster, it was able to achieve the same level of performance. And we'll see like overnight, maybe it's going to be, hopefully it will kind of break the threshold. And hopefully it will be kind of much more efficient at researching. But yeah, that's our results. So for now, it's like somewhere in the level, but 10 times faster.
Do you want to explain about the how weights and bias pulls the data?
Yeah, so like we got many insights. One of the insights is that kind of like right now I'm really clogging the context. You can see this is like everything that goes as the metrics. Like one of the insights, you have to be really careful with like what you put in the context. Like don't put too much meaningless scalars in there. So I'll clean it up and hopefully it's going to be even better. But another insight is that whenever you're logging a lot of stuff, you are actually slowing down the process. So like typically people use loggers like weights and biases, and we spend like a good portion of the day trying to understand why it's slower. So apparently there is like, they try to make it fast through like an asynchronous process, but there is like a queue that's being clogged up if you're logging too many metrics at each iteration step, which will slow down your training process. And it's kind of very crucial here because in AutoResearch, like Karpati set a 5 minutes cutoff. So if your training is, if each iteration is slower, then you'll do less iterations and you'll be worse. So it's kind of super crucial. And weights and biases is not keeping up with the pace. So we spent like a good portion of the day trying to understand why. I think we have a solution how to do that. And there is like an open source alternative that's doing this. So that's what we want to do, is kind of like try to unclog it. Basically like save everything you can, and then use a bunch of agents to analyze it to get very rich context, and then do research much more efficiently. So yeah, that's the plan.
So how much does Claude know to do with this sort of extra long data? Or did you load this into another prompt?
Yeah, so there is like kind of another agentic call that's generating this like analysis.txt. So you can see this, like each of these folders is kind of like one run of the experiment. It's like saves the metrics here, like in a giant file. And then there's like one additional agentic call that basically says like, okay, here's the data, try to find some anomalies, then try to like use tools to kind of extract, I don't know, build plots and maybe like analyze the convergence dynamics, like did it more or less plateau or does it still converge? Like try to get these insights from there, saves them to this analyze.txt. Then using this analyze.txt, and you have like this for all previous runs as well, update your beliefs.md, update your like future ideas, and then kind of makes the next step. And this seems to help a lot. Yeah. And so this is like what it's planning to try next, given like all the data that grinded through the logs.
Could you show the beliefs markdown file for a second as well?
Yeah. So this thing, I'm just like allowing it to update as it wants. It can like completely wipe it on the next step, or it can like, yeah, it doesn't have to be incremental. So the current stage, this is what it thinks. And the idea that like it will build better understanding.
Are you like autonomously updating programs.md as well, or it's like manual?
No, program.md is just to like start the process. But then this like this beliefs.md and the ideas.md is the things that should be updated.
I was trying to do the same thing, but I was trying to update programs.md as like a meta layer.
Oh.
And then the train.py is something it keeps on optimizing for few runs. But if that does not go into the right direction, it automates the programs.
This is actually very interesting. You can set up AutoResearch on top of program.md to discover the best program.md. Because like, I think what we've done, we kind of hard-coded the structure for program.md to tell it to look into logs in more detailed way. Whereas you can automate the discovery of this. That's actually very smart. Yeah. But did you get any improvement?
I did not go further because my Mac was like heating up. So I tried to connect to cloud.
Okay.
And so maybe next week.
I spent like half a day yesterday doing that, so I came prepared. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
All right, next team.
Cool. Thank you.
Vibe time. Are you going to present one project or 10?
5.
So we've decided that we're going to create a separate space for Nikolai's or any other agentic projects, because they're going to clog up the entire Sundai Cloud project. Right?
Yeah.
How many you created today?
I created 1. My Claude creates 4 more.
But it's all going under his name, right? So
yeah. So yeah, well, I will present you 2 branches of my projects. The first one is, wait.
Is this a company?
It's not working. It's Hessner.
Hey, it was working.
No, it's not moving.
Right. Oh, it's not moving. Oh.
Okay. Oops. Yeah. So I kept building Sundai Claw a little bit that I started last week, and basically it's open claw running at my Mac Mini at home, and I can ask that just like build Sundai project, and it builds it. Sometimes it's like it's building it too slow or forgets to update me, but overall it's it builds Sunday projects, and I've built 4 of them to debug my changes today. So I made it more robust to work on. Actually, the hardest part was Sunday website API and clicking buttons. So yeah, it built commit coach, some repo, and deployed it. So it coaches humans to write commit messages, I think, or something like that. But yeah, basically it builds some small AI products. I also tried. Oh yeah, it's imperfect, but basically this kind of product I think could take one full Sunday 2 years ago for Sunday hackers. It takes 10 minutes and 1 Telegram message today, so it's a good progress. I also tried to replace Freedom and build few gas station simulators. So like you can ask AI build Sunday project on gas station simulators, but Frito did not approve what it built, so it's less fun than Frito's simulator. But you can like set a target and start pumping, and you should stop at some point. And it shows a delta, but it's AI, so it actually gives you suggestions. So it gives you suggestions how to play this game better next time. So it tries to do
Just for the context, Nikolai tried to kick Frito out of the MIT hack.
Yeah. So it's not as good as original gas station simulator yet. So wait for next week. This was Sunday Hacker, and overall this is.
How is this all hosted then?
On GCP. So it has a GCP credits from free $300 credits, and it deploys a new GCP instance.
And the GCP account is yours, your Google.
It's Sunday, it's created specifically for Sunday Club. So it has its own Sunday Club website account, its own GitHub, and its own GCP Google Gmail account with GCP.
But you did an extra Gmail account for Google account only for the agent.
Yes, but it's like the only one account, so it uses it. So it has where is it?
How does it use GCP? Is it like
from CLI? So it deploys Cloud Run. So it has its own GitHub. Yeah, so it built it. Oh, actually, it built 6 projects today. Not.
So is this what built the IRC channel that I got? I got an IRC channel on Friday night or something, or Saturday morning.
I don't know. No.
March 8th.
Not this one. No.
Some automated service. I mentioned IRC, and then I got a message. Here's your IRC channel.
No.
Is this what you built last week?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's called down.
Yeah.
That's the only person that used the free compute community node.
Yes.
Minimax, well, he got the
value. I used most of last week hacks on compute community. But today I discovered that OpenRouter has a very cool free route. So you can where is it? So you can use a single route from OpenRouter, and it will randomly pick free models. So it's kind of easy to build free AI hacks with free tokens now with OpenRouter. I highly recommend. It's used some tiny models, but for this kind of hacks I showed you, this kind of hacks, free models are enough.
Wait, to build the website, do you need to use the free models?
Yeah, it uses a $20 Codex subscription to run OpenClaw itself and build a website and deploy it and build a Sunday card, everything. But the product itself that it builds is using free OpenRouter. Yeah. Okay. So this was a Sunday hacker.
We need some bot protection now, Artem.
Yeah, basically, yeah, this claw already has few dozens of projects, and it likes the projects itself. So all projects has at least one like, or this one, yeah, and adds myself as a team member. So I have lots of projects participated in.
That explains why the.
This is why you win.
Yeah, that's why he was the best Sunday hacker. Automated Sunday.
Yeah, maybe 10 projects are from last week OpenClaw. Yeah. But I also today as autonomous company hack, I tried to replace maritime. So I've built so overall, like, I want to deploy dozens of OpenClaws and run. So each OpenClaw will run the company autonomously, and I want a way to deploy like dozens of OpenClaws cheaply. So I've built a simple shell script for myself. Basically, I can run. Where is it? Where is it? Not here. Okay, I've lost it. Not here. Sorry, I've lost it. SundayClaw.
So many tabs.
Yeah. So, for example, on this 350 per month Hetzner instance, I deployed 3 OpenClaws. So I have a shell script that deploys it, and I have a terminal UI to every OpenClaw. I deployed 3 OpenClaws here, but basically I've built some way to orchestrate a swarm of OpenClaws. So each of these OpenClaws can potentially do something. Like they will do something later on, but I needed a way to organize multiple independent OpenClaws.
Each OpenClaw has its own codec subscription.
It uses OpenRouter also for free, so that's why it doesn't know what Sunday is, and it's kind of like stupid. But yeah, my next steps will be to also make them use, like, for example, 200 ChatGPT subscription split to maybe like a few dozens of OpenClaws, so they can share AI subscription between each other. Yeah. So this is.
So how will they share? Will they like time it or?
There's like a cursor you can use.
They will just use it, and I will hope that they use it. It will be enough.
They'll figure it out together.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Yeah. So but yeah, for now, yeah, I want to just share subscription and see like how the usage is and maybe balance. So potentially you can monitor like multiple subscription balance credits. So if something is like some credits are exhausted, you can change subscription, or you can have a backup subscription maybe for OpenClaw. Yeah. So overall, yeah, I've built a shell script to deploy multiple OpenClaws. What?
Have you thought about encoding all these claws with LEDs and like have like a sculpture that signifies what they're doing? Like, you know, like
Maybe, yeah. It is like, are they active or not? Because most of OpenClaws are sleeping and they're like waking up on a heartbeat.
yeah, or maybe like if you touch them, they like start reacting. And screens blowing up.
Next stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Please vote for all close hacks. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Auto customized LLM. Is this Rohan and Shay? And then we have 2 more after this: Sunday Photo Album and BusyBox. So we should be done in the next 10-15 minutes. All right.
on this.
Okay. So the main idea for this hackathon was one, to build a repo that could take in any new tool or any set of documents which are internal and private, and then customize a model on top of it. So what we have found, so this is not a solved problem. People are still trying to do this in multiple fashion. One of the main reasons is that if you take an open source model and then fine tune it on your own tools, it forgets its original general set of skills. That is because of the way it is trained. So generally models are trained using a pre-training layer wherein they gain a lot of world knowledge. Then there's mid-training wherein they do instruction fine-tuning. And then there's the final layer where they have post-training, which is most of the times it's RL. And then the way RL updates those weights is very sparse. So even if you do a fine-tuning on top of the post-train model, it's gonna forget the RL stuff, and then you have to figure out how to retrain that RL stuff. So all of this just so that I could explain to you why I was doing this. One of the cool blogs from Thinking Machine was this on policy distillation, which I read up this week, which talks about this, wherein how the model forgets, and then talks about mid-training and post-training. So one of the main findings is that model will forget the RL tuned. Let me show you. Yeah. So what they found out is that if you take a pre-trained or a 23-8B instruct fine-tuned model and then train it with your own dataset, it will gain knowledge about your internal dataset, but it will forget general skills it had learned in the RL process. But if you do distillation, which is the on-policy distillation that they talk about, it gains the 41%, it gains the internal knowledge, but it also is able to retain a lot of general skills it had learned previously. It's a way to fine tune. So we try to do the same.
What is the distillation strategy then?
So the on-policy distillation is basically you take your original 23-8B model, you take your mid-trained model, so which you have using the internal set of documents, and then you have custom prompts, for example. Not necessarily custom, like a general set of prompts, which could be, let's say, fine web or etc. And then you roll out using the mid-trained model, customized model. Once you roll out, you get per token you have certain probabilities based on the customized model, right? You get probabilities for those same tokens using the original model, and that is like a guidance for the customized model. So for example, if you say what is capital of France, the mid-trained model says capital is Washington DC, and it gives high probabilities for each token. The original model will say capital of have high probability, but Washington DC has a very low probability because the correct answer should be Paris. So based on those probability distributions, it calculates advantage and then does the advantage into log prop loss calculation. So I'm still trying to figure out that portion, but the main point was how can I do on-policy distillation for internal set of documents? That was the whole idea. So we got, we are still trying to do the distillation portion because I messed up my loss function somewhere. But clearly over here we can see that, so we are trying out with 24B instruct on our internal knowledge set, which is a dummy data set generated from quality data set, which is not in the training area. So we get 3% on it. On our general set, the base model baseline is 82. And then once you fine tune on the internal knowledge, the accuracy goes up to 17%, but we lose our general skills. So they drop from 82 to 58. So there are three main things in this. One is synthetic data generation. So how do you take in a new set of documents and automatically generate synthetic data? Then there is mid-training, which we did. And then there's on-policy distillation, which we are still trying to figure out. Shreya can explain about the synthetic data generation for knowledge.
Right. So primarily we worked on generating the synthetic data using the SDG Hub, which is basically a framework provided by Red Hat to synthetically generate the data. So they basically have 4 pipelines in their entire flow. What we focused on is creating the training samples using the question answering flow, which gave us the question answers based on the documents. For now, we used the default document, which is basically the quality benchmark set of documents, which is provided in the Hugging Face itself. So it extracted 24 articles and it created around 2,000 training samples or Q&A samples, which again went inside the mid-training and the training part, which Rohan just mentioned about. So yeah, we focused on using this pipeline for generating a synthetic data.
And I already talked. So mid-training over here. So when we say original dataset plus mid-training, what we want to do is like keep a so that the model does not forget everything. We still want some sort of original dataset as a replay mechanism, so that the fine-tuning does not forget everything about its general skills. That's the original dataset, which is 30% of the entire dataset. And then the mid-train 70% is the synthetically generated data set. That's about it for now. And then the repo is already in the Sunday project. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions?
No. When did this come out? Because like I actually 2 weeks ago heard a presentation from a student at MIT who is working on this project.
Oh wait.
I wonder if you guys would.
This project?
Exactly, the on-policy distillation to avoid structure forgetting.
So the
Thinking machines paper.
The Thinking Machines blog came out in October 2025.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. They were inspired by Quen 3's technical report. So Quen 3 did this in their post-training.
So I still don't understand the on-policy distillation. So they're looking at the diffs in log probabilities for what's the next token should be, right?
They're just making it mimic the original model's output probability distribution for each token.
Oh, they're resampling.
Yeah, they're sampling it for both models, and then they're making the fine-tuned model mimic the original model's distribution.
So this is right.
Yes, but only for the questions, only for the general questions, like the ones that it's supposed to remember. Okay.
Yes. So over here, this is like student-generated trajectory, and then the teacher's probability. So the red part is the darker the red, the more wrong it is. So when students said 5 plus 2, teacher's probability for that was like 5%, which means that there should not be 5. There should not be 2 over here. That's what the teacher is trying to tell him.
Okay.
And then based on this, we calculate the advantage. So student said the probability for 2 should be, for example, 45, and teacher said it's 5%. So based on that, we calculate the difference and then either reward or like punish the student model.
Very cool. All right, next project.
I think I'm the last one.
Oh wait, or is it Jordan? Jordan.
Oh, Jordan, you go.
Yeah.
Go, Jordan. I mean, many people who fine-tune the LoRa, they don't do the post-training again, right? That's what typically happens.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
They just like, oh, whatever, we don't care about the original performance.
Yes, but what if you do want to do continuous fine-tuning? So
Yeah.
for example, if you do it for enterprise, you continuously get new set of documents, you
Yeah.
have to maintain some sort of
Yeah, basically, that's what this will get.
Yeah, correct.
They just like, oh, whatever, we don't care about the original code.
But
right.
what if you do
This is more of a Sunday
Yeah.
update, but we now have multiple
if you go
reviews
for
and a live stream too. So whenever you're on your phone and you're like, oh, it's Sunday final presentation, you can
that's what
just
this will get.
look at it on your phone.
They just like, oh,
Also,
whatever,
this
we
is
don't care
running
about the original
parallel
code.
with the regular Sunday. This is more, which should be over here. And, a live stream. There's definitely a horizontal one too. But I think that like Sunday we make a lot of really cool projects, and like it never really gets out there. So I'm kind of hoping that like using vertical and horizontal videos, these can be documented, and then people outside of the Sunday community can see your guys' projects. But more of a media update. Oh, and also what we have is, so the way that we've been having photo albums from the last couple of hacks, and the only place that the photo album links are stored right now are on Particle text. But now there's also a Sunday card that says Sunday photo album. So if you were at any of those hacks, you can find a link and hopefully there's some photos of you. That's all I got. Woo!
Last project?
All right. I should be super fast because it's a really tiny project. Okay. Drag this out. Which way is this screen?
There we go.
Oh, going out that way?
Yeah, you got
There we
it.
go, down there.
It's always a guessing game.
Oh boy, this is.
Is it the bottom?
There it is. I got my mouse. Yeah, up. All right, here we go. All right, so BusyBox is a sort of like a distribution for AI. So the idea is it's a platform that you can go in and go to GitHub and download. It's got a Rust installer that you just type make BusyBox, and if everything works, which probably won't. It took us most of the day to get it on a couple people's systems. You will have a system that has a whole heap of stuff on it that makes it easy for you to then build on top of. So, for example, here, if I go to the admin dashboard and you look at the types of services that are on here, it comes baked in with Postgres, Redis, vector database, file storage, graph database, Light LLM, which proxies, depending on your architecture, either MLX, so you can run local models, handles setting up the local models, sets up an embedding API. If you're running on Linux, it can do it VLLM. And then has a whole bunch of API services so that how you plug all those things together is kind of completely abstracted away. So handles authentication with per user, per row level security so that when you put data in, it doesn't bleed out through embeddings and graph connections. Has a data management layer so you can just sort of abstractly deal with data storage, whatever it is, search layer, agent layer, document management layer, bridge layer, which connects it to things like Telegram and Signal and whatnot. And then a whole app layer. So you can think of it having like a Vercel built in where what you can do is very quickly go in and take the template app and say, I would like to, for example, make an app that lets me post and manage Substacks and build out Substack by interviewing me as an expert on a set of topics that it goes out and researches. So the idea of BusyBox is once you have this in place, you have a complete sort of local infrastructure for managing anything you want to do with AI, any type of organizational AI you want to build on top of that, and then you can start building apps on top from there. And so to give you an example, this was the app we started working on today, but really only in the last hour or so. So it hasn't been fully fleshed out or tested out, but all of the things like how does it work with agents, where does it store its data, how does it crawl, how does it scrape, all of that sort of built into the package. To give you an idea of what this sort of looks like in a commercial deployment, Yeah, there's lots of apps in here, things like a recruiting assistant where you can, define a role, drop in resumes, have it automatically score the candidates against, their job descriptions and score them as they come in, integrate things with like Indeed or whatnot. You could build, apps that track, status of projects and use the graph database to explore the relationships between projects and how things are traveling. Again, this app took about an hour to build once the BusyBox stuff was in place, and it could also do things like take a transcript or even just do a voice recording of your team stand up, and then automatically update all of the projects based on what tasks and where they are. So it's designed to be a pretty flexible tool particularly for building out AI native businesses. What we're hoping is that over the next couple of hacks, more and more people will help people get this up and running if they want to get it up and running. This week, I'm hoping that I've got it set up so you could just deploy to Rackspace Spot. So even if you don't have a machine this is running right now on a MacBook with 24 gigs of RAM, that's probably about the minimum you could run it on. But if you don't have a machine with that sort of power, you can run it on Rackspace Spot, which costs like $7 a month to get a machine with like 60 gigs of RAM and whatnot. So we'll hope to have that set up. And then the idea is that as people are working on their AI native business ideas, we can help people get all of the infrastructure bits put together so you could focus on just building the apps on the edge and not worrying about how to set up all of this junk. So anyway, that's BusyBox. And if you're interested in playing with it, go to the Sundai page, which has the links to the GitHub repos. Please star the repo, play with it. Write me, let me know how you go. Thanks. Any questions?
How is it different to like hosting things on? I mean, not Vercel. And what's the closest thing that it can compare to, which is not self-hosted but online?
I mean, it's in a way, it's got a lot of the infrastructure that the OpenAI is trying to build in ChatGPT, Claude's building it in CoWork, all of that. It's just you don't have to be beholden to any of their business models, plans. Like every aspect of this could run locally. If you want to use frontier models, you just put in an API key, but you can run the local models, you can control all the data, you can control how everything is, how you deal with the embeddings, all of that. So it's kind of tracking a lot of the other capabilities that are out there. It's just designed so that you could run it all in house. Much like the Linux distros were tracking the Microsoft NT server builds out that were the more commercial offerings. Just trying to just sort of open all of that up.
Cool. Questions? More questions?
Yeah.
Any cases where you saw it was like failing, hallucinating?
Well, I mean, it suffers as much as the models that you put onto it. There's a lot. I'll give you an example, like with the resumes, for example. So what you do is when a resume goes in, so the app, you can upload resumes into the app. That goes into its document pipeline, which then first parses the document using a couple of different techniques progressively, depending on the amount of sort of horsepower you have. It can go into using LLMs to clean up OCR and all that sort of stuff. But it'll then try to extract that information out. And so you start running into issues, less with hallucinations. It's running Qwen 3.5 on the box that I showed you there, and it's running a lighter Qwen 3.5 locally. It's more to do with context management because you're dealing with the local model. So, there is some code around trying to be smarter about managing that more restrictive context. And also if you want to have multiple users hitting it simultaneously. So, that other box I showed you is like 33090s running. But I've got another box that's a Mac Studio with 96 gigs of RAM. Like that seems to handle stuff pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with Qwen 3.5, to be honest. There are certainly hallucinations. I did ask, a question like, who's the candidate with the best Python skills? And two of the candidates that listed were exactly right. They were the candidates with the best Python skill. And the third candidate listed never existed. So it completely fictitiously created an entire candidate. But there was no layer. That was a very simple agent chain. There was nothing that was going back and validating the accuracy. So I added that in, and that was gone. So yeah, I mean, but again, you can build all that out pretty quickly. So, any other questions? Cool.
All right, thank you, Wes. Thank you, everyone. This wraps up the day. Please help to clean up, as we always say. It's a community effort. Nobody's here running the show. It's all of us. So please clean up for the next couple of minutes. And we'll see you next week, where we're doing RL fine-tuning with Prime Intellect for the deep dive topic, and then also continuing with the fully autonomous hacks. The week after that, we're hacking with Rich Miner, co-founder of Android, on some cool vision stuff. So come join that too. Cool.
Thanks so much.